welcome to another co-host auditions where we reserve the right to run at TBS in the 90s time. It is 5 after the hour. We are just after Monkeyed Movies. Hope you enjoyed that one, folks. Today, I was supposed to move my monitor over here, and I did not. I should do that immediately after this episode. Oh well, you're going to have to deal with me looking at the wrong space sometimes when I have my co-host. I am the co-host, actually. I am Dillon. Thank you for joining me. I am the second mic. I am looking for my first mic. And today, it is Sarah Silverman Day. And the outfit I am wearing today is playing off what Sarah is wearing because she looks like a librarian. So I'm doing my best to look like a librarian. I do believe I'm a little bit more on the college professor side. I have got my leather patches on my suede jacket, not the other way around. I did not ruin two perfectly good jackets. But before we go forward, where are the photos? I'll figure all this layout soon, folks. We have Sarah Silverman in 1999 on an episode of Voyager, and she is just so charming, so carefree, and the woman here is scary. She is joyless, black hole of happiness. I think that's what happens when you stay in Los Angeles too long and you should have moved on. Some people belong in Los Angeles for eternity. Some do not. We see Mel Brooks behind her there and in a photo. And Mel Brooks did belong in Hollywood for his entire life, right? He didn't live somewhere else. But Sarah Silverman, Donkey Lips, we did on Monday, should live in Henderson, Nevada. Donkey Lips, oh boy, I'm looking forward to another episode with him. Please bring me on board regular Donkey Lips. You shouldn't be broadcasting by yourself, just as Sarah Silverman shouldn't. She has kind of ruined her reputation, I believe. I tried to watch her on her new stand-up special, and I just know that personality does not exist anymore. Sarah Silverman was trying to use her 1999 persona that we see here once again on Star Trek Voyager, where she was very filled with passion of things that weren't just completely depressing. I actually did have a argument recently, the audacity to say that Sarah Silverman 1999 in Voyager, I preferred over Jerry Ryan, 7 of 9. Now, that is an absolute ludicrous statement to make because Jerry Ryan is everybody's type. She is absolutely gorgeous, but Sarah Silverman in 1999 was just my type. And I believe I've said it before. If you are half Jewish and half Latina, specifically Guatemalan, shut up and take my soul. You are my type to a detrimental degree, and you might be able to coerce me into doing things I shouldn't. Yeah, I'm looking the wrong way here, aren't I? Well, we're going to get started. We are after the plugs. Sarah just had her... Sorry about that mouth noise. Ouch. Sorry for your ears, folks. Sarah just had her musical opening and then immediately a jingle to get into voicemails. It was a lot back to back. Like that would be fun if that was the entire bit of the show. It's the jingles show, and you just do like one little small thing after a big elaborate jingle. I'll have to work with some other production people to get that jingles show off the ground. I think we've got something there. Maybe with you, Sarah. I am here as your co-host today, Miss Silverman. So take it away with the...
Hi, Sarah. I love the podcast. Sometime in December, you had a caller who was worried about dealing with her Trumper relatives at family gatherings. I've got a couple of tips
political
that
already.
I use
Right off the bat,
people like that. First one is the reply. Is that true?
Really
though?
not interested. I picked this episode in honor of Stuttering John returning to the scene. It's called Cockroaches, Mace, Clean Asshole. And right off the bat, we're doing this, Sarah. No, I don't want to hear political nonsense from anybody.
Right.
Conversation back to the party.
Michaels, not you.
I find that helps. Thanks.
Richard Ojeda, yes. Richard
I think that's good. You've got to be earnest with it too. You can't be like, can you or condescending, you know. But yeah.
Get the mic out of your face. You're making some great...
Could you give me,
captures.
It's not like, can you give me one example? It's more like, Can you give me an example just so I can get my head around it? Like, what do you mean? But
I did want to get Sarah Silverman with her big sour puss, as she's known for nowadays, on this photo. But the mic was always covering her face, so we've got ready for cum, Sarah Silverman, ready for some ropes to shoot some loads.
What else?
I've got this
Hey,
marked
Sarah,
not
this
for
is
kids,
Amanda.
right?
Over the winter break, your usual podcasts
No
aren't going on, so it
children
gave me time
need
to
to be-
catch up on something else I had wanted to listen to called Rachel Maddow Ultra. And they went over a whole lot of details about different Nazi propaganda that was being spread in America by Americans during our war with the Nazis.
This isn't cockroaches, mace, or clean assholes, Sarah. I chose this episode for a reason, that you wouldn't be getting into this. Oh boy, I don't know if this is going to work, Miss Silverman. This is your show, even when you're saying it's not your show. Ooh, there's a nice sourpuss with very little microphone interference. Let's get that on the main screen. Get out of here, banner. Command Shift 3. Sourpuss Sarah, thank you for showing up. We knew you'd be here, taking calls that are all somehow political in nature.
Anti-Semitics are around us, how many racists, how many disgusting fascists are around us at all times.
Sarah, is this a comedy show? What's it listed as? I don't know what it's listed as. Like, I thought this was a comedy show. There's certain topics, unless you're like George Carlin. I guess you back in the day were all right at that. Ooh, look at that smug. You are so smug, Miss Sarah. Command Shift 3. Well, at least we're getting some nice screenshots of this. If this is how it's going to go, I'm not going to need him for a second episode. I'm looking for comedy content here, Sarah. Jesus.
Madison Square Garden, packed. Anyway, I don't know, my instinct is that I think knowing who is out there is an advantage. Unfortunately, it's not just like, moving the stove and seeing the cockroaches that live underneath. These cockroaches have microphones and platforms and influence people. I don't actually feel comfortable calling.
Fuck. The cockroaches aren't actual cockroaches. She's talking about people with different political views. Oh, glad you're keeping an open discourse, Sarah. Glad you're not shutting the people with differing opinions just completely out. Oh, God damn it. Is this what this episode is? This is Mace somehow politically? Is it Clean Asshole? Is this all a political show? Oh, God damn it. Here we go.
Calling them, I know that was an analogy, the cockroaches, but it feels very much how like people call Jews vermin. So, but yeah, my impulse is it's better to see the disease so we can try to stop the spread of it. But then does the light on it help it spread?
Sarah, I got a question. Me and Christian Bale have a question for you.
The fuck are you doing? Are you professional or not?
I do have to cut that up into two. We know you're a professional comedian. Yeah, are you a professional comedian? Did you turn in your microphone? Did you knock down the brick wall that all comedians have in their living room?
I don't know anymore, because the platform anti-Semitism is getting is both causing awareness to squash it and correct misinformation.
Sarah, I don't know if you're going to be inviting me back. I don't know if I'll be coming back as a co-host for this audition. This is a comedy show, and really, Christian Bale and I believe...
You are trashing my scene!
Oh, get to anything else.
But of course, we know for a fact that misinformation spreads much faster and wider than truth or any of its corrections, so... I subscribe to the notion that darkness cannot exist in the light, but boy, sometimes I'm not sure.
Dark matter is going to rock your world, Sarah.
I don't know. What else?
Hi, Sarah. This is Rachel calling from Brooklyn. I am a woman, and my partner, who was socialized as a man, came
look
out
at us. We've got the
last
same
year as
reaction, Sarah. For
non-binary.
fuck's sake.
And I'm really proud of them. And they
Oh, we'd make a
sort of
great
still
team
identify
if
as a
you'd
man and sort of don't, and are sort of still figuring it all out. But a big part of that is the way that they dress, and they love to wear.
I don't see there being a Sarah Silverman part 2. How I was not prepared for this tediousness. We're gonna have to get a lot more opinions on this from other people. Maybe I am wrong here. Lily Tomlin, what do you think of the Sarah Silverman show?
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Get the fucking thing together. Fuck you.
Okay, maybe she'll get it together. Should we go ahead and jump? I think we should jump 3 minutes into the future on this.
in my backpack, so it's like if somebody tries to hurt me, I'll be like, hold on, it's in one of these you stay there, it's in one of these compartments. Okay, here, pull. Safety's on.
I
If
did
I'm
not think
nervous,
Donkey Lips was
walking
going to
my
be a better
car
host than Sarah
or
Silverman.
down a dark,
This is rocking my
scary
world, Sarah.
street,
Not
I
in a
walk,
good way.
I just
Well, a good way
walk
for
with
Donkey
it in my
Lips.
hand like this. And
Donkey
that's-
Lips and I think we've got a thing going. This is a rough start, Sarah. I should have pulled more TikTok clips and just made this the TikTok show.
with my hand on the, with my thumb on the safety.
I was not
And
prepared for this.
I never need it.
Alf.
I've used it twice in my life.
I think we're gonna have
Saved
to have a
me.
conversation.
But it just, boy, I always think like walking
Those-
with this in my hand.
People only listening to audio, I have a puppet of Alf, I think would have some better insights than talking to Sarah. Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
I'm going in my car at night or something, makes me think, I wonder if this is, it gives me such a feeling of safety and security and just like knowing I can take care of myself if I need to, that I think, I bet this is what it feels like to be a man just walking around, you know? There you go. That's my not totally beautiful.
There's a
earthy,
joke to be had.
bohemian answer.
And like I think Sarah's specialty is on stage. Like, a few dozen people would hear that beginnings of a joke that isn't a joke yet, and she would work it out until thousands saw it when it was a joke. That, Sarah, sounds like an idea that could become amusing with a setup punchline with some repetitive.
To that.
I can't even
set it
finish
and
I
forget
don't
it. It's just a
believe- you've
tangible
lost it.
solution. It's
lost it,
small,
Sarah.
it's locked.
Welcome,
throw it in
viewer.
your bag,
Sarah is
boom.
tedious. This
Because you want them to
wow,
enjoy
this-
this experience. So
I was
there's a
not prepared.
practical, tangible thing you can do, have, give, and then just live your lives, just this you want them to really enjoy this feeling.
Oh, we just jumped ahead too, and every time that Sarah starts talking, I just have the thought pop in my head. I want to scream,
Leave me the fuck alone.
but we're only getting this one started. Oh, here we go, Sarah. Here we go.
Feeling of just
Kitty
true
Cat wants to
identity,
come in.
whatever
I
it
don't know
is.
if you hear that
You
scratching.
say that they're kind of going
Kitty would
in
make
and
a
out
better
of,
guest,
like male
a better host.
identity,
I'm the co-host.
non-binary identity. That's what all that's about, is that it's, that gender is a
I
construct.
identify as a
so
co-host.
It just is, it's like, I think the people have a problem with it because they need things to go in boxes so they understand life,
Oh, I have a thing I love putting in boxes.
not black and white or not.
We should talk all about that, Sarah.
That are more fluid.
Let's jump again.
I'm pretty confident that I'm correct. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I
Is
think
it
that
just
when
a
people are
voicemail show?
truly living their best lives, they're not
Sarah,
spending it.
Kitty really wants to be
judging
left
other
in.
people
I'm
or
going against
getting
my
mad
better
about how
judgment.
other
I may
people-
have
I mean,
to let you take over.
Yeah, when
while
men
I
have a
answer the
problem with
door.
how I live my life, or and they're strangers mostly, or like what I'm about, it's just so very odd to me. But I also am pretty sure it has just about zero to do with me. That's ego stuff. That's fear.
That was a lot of words.
Stuff, when
I
it comes to
zoned
that
out.
Stuff, I always think.
Yeah, I don't think this relationship
do
is
you
going to
give a
work out
shit?
as your co-host.
It's always so odd.
I'm just going off into my own
For
world.
me, I don't care how you live your life as long as it doesn't affect other people negatively, as long as it doesn't hurt others. I have
Wow, what revolutionary
old friend
thoughts,
who
Sarah.
became a kind
Thank
of
you for being the first to bring
well-known
those thoughts to the
anti-feminist.
internet.
And when I've talked to him,
A lot of
And he was
headroom. Should I have more headroom? Ryback has a
he
lot of
was so
headroom.
mad at me
Whoop, more headroom. You can see full all of
that I was
Harley
happy
Race
being
with
alone,
his
that I was
NWA
happy being
title.
single. He was so annoyed that his kids had to watch Wreck-It Ralph, where my character is a princess but decides to be a president instead. He was just so put out by any progress reflected in life or art. And I just think, why?
Is that what it was, Sarah? Is that what it was? I wasn't there. I don't know, but I just want to ask in a Jim Florentine voice. Really, Sarah? Is that what it was? Is it that he hates progress? Is it because the princess made a choice that this relationship ended? That's really what it was. Your relationship came to a careening. Toons is the cat going over a cliff because of a cartoon that you voiced, and the princess decided to get a career. Is that what ended your relationship? Really, Sarah? Tell us more about it.
Why do you give a fuck? Like, live your life the way you want, and I will do the same. Isn't that freedom?
All right, I'm getting the kitty.
Truth is, it really does not bother me at all. I'm sorry if it ruffles their feathers or they're uncomfortable with knowing that I exist in the world, but it's just not my problem. For
Kitty doesn't want to make a guest
reason,
appearance. She ran off. She just wants in.
Me. What he or any of these people think of me, to be honest, is none of my business. But the thought that me living.
Rosa, on the other hand, if she's scratching at the door, she's making a guest appearance. We're getting that pug right on screen. That doggy loves attention, not like Kitty, who whatever Sarah was talking about. I'm sure we won't miss anything by jumping a little further ahead.
Go, and that experience is going to be an experience only you guys can have together because it's you guys. But if you're inclined to go and try something
really
new,
miss this woman.
Then go.
This woman was so charming.
I don't know that I want to go camping. Rory and I really enjoy a lot of the same stuff, but we also enjoy very different things, and we know that we do them on our own.
Who had his big hip hop look to cover his Vulcan ears.
Like
my Vulcan ears.
But if you're inclined to
Did
go,
Ralph Wiggum say that?
Yeah.
My Vulcan ears.
You don't need me. All right, what else?
Hi, Sarah.
Okay, Sarah.
I'm looking for
the room opinion.
You're not really listening to me, are you?
I'm not really listening to you, Sarah.
a piece of advice. I was hoping you had a suggestion or a strategy, perhaps, for letting go or getting over very deep-rooted anger at the patriarchy and.
Oh, I thought this was going to be relationship advice. I was going to be like, okay, this is fun. Bill Burr does this. Command Shift 3. Oh, fucking really? The patriarchy. Are you pulling these beforehand? Is your producer listening beforehand? Is this really the content you want to do? Are you sure you don't want to do like a political one and then do a relationship one and then do a pop culture one and then do one where you talk about your credits and then talk about stand-up? Are you sure you just want voicemail after voicemail of people getting you on this echo chamber of political thought that you're in? Oh, no, just no to all political shows. Oh, arg. That's why I won't do Tony Michaels. Tony Michaels has his political show, and it's fucking awful. He's not getting chicken nuggies. I would love to do a Tony Michaels episode and talk chicken nuggies, but he's talking about the headlines that he reads and gets angry about and does no further research into and talks to the people with differing opinions to find a midway point and then have a beer while still busting balls on what you don't agree with.
And misogyny. Currently, I don't have any strategies or ideas that are working for me. Any advice you
angry at the patriarchy advice
Great
on that?
question. Thank you for asking it, because I sometimes need to figure this shit out too.
Not anything specific at all, like pay structure, advancing, like she has nothing specific about being angry because, like, to me that would if I was facing the patriarchy that kept me down financially or in business where I wanted to advance, that would be angering me. That angered me without the patriarchy, with just a doofus in charge. And you can read it on Reddit, Dillon from somewhere at anti-restaurant work. There are 6,000 full words deconstructing and giving them a blueprint on how this place could be successful. It has nothing to do with the patriarchy and instead someone incompetent. And because you gave no examples, you may just be talking about incompetence at the top and a tumor at the brainstem of this operation. But I'm not sure. Just the patriarchy. I hate the patriarchy. Oh, by the way, they are hiring a general manager at that place I quit with that long resignation letter. They ran off Ricardo now. Ricardo's gone. Ricardo is all they had. He was new when I got there. They ran him off in just a few months. And I'm going to walk in there with my exact resignation letter. I've made up a cover letter. I need to print that out so I can show you folks. It's somewhere here on the computer, but I didn't pull that photo. Sarah, do you have any advice on just general patriarchy hatred?
Too. I think the better question to ask is, how is this anger serving you? And how is it not serving you? The one way.
No details, just yes, I know, fuck the patriarchy.
Be aware of it when you see it, to point it out, to have boundaries around it.
Yes,
give us
an example instead of being general, like I just did, Sarah, of workplace and financial. That is somewhere to be upset about it.
The way it does not serve you is that it feels bad, and the anger can easily be misplaced, and it doesn't feel good.
Like towards not men.
In general, this
make
is
sure that you funnel your anger towards men, and then you will be in the right. As long as it's a man that your anger is hitting, you're totally within the right here, caller.
And working or volunteering around this topic can be a good place.
Oh, it took me 20 minutes, but I'm having a good time at last, Sarah. Maybe this partnership can work out. I sound a little bit hot. I think I might need to turn my levels down, get away from the mic. But yeah, it took me 20 minutes, but we're on a roll now, Sarah. Go.
Put that energy and that energy working towards something positive could be converted into something more hopeful and less angry. Maybe, I don't know. But like, for instance, I can get really frustrated. And then I said this example recently where I expressed frustration about it to Rory. And
is that her husband?
He very supportively said, that's okay.
I feel like I remember her doing the Rory rural gag with her husband's name at some point, probably on Who Are These Podcasts, because big fan of that. I guess I am kind of ripping their bit a little bit, having Sarah Silverman, but my bit is looking for other solo podcasters and auditioning to be their co-host. So I feel this falls under both of our banners.
Knee-jerk reaction was, oh, is it? Like I was like, oh, is it? Is it okay? Just because he was a man.
Is it, Sarah?
By, and luckily immediately apologized for aiming that anger at him. It will be more ideal when I can stop myself before that happens instead of apologizing after. But, maybe acknowledging the male allies you have in your life. Maybe that is a good place to start. Feel good. I don't know. But remembering that anger doesn't hurt the patriarchy unless it's focused and clear-headed. And
you need to be clear-headed with your anger and then fire those anger arrows at the bartender and at the people trying to buy you drinks. Don't accept those. Actually, yeah, there is a good reason for not accepting those drinks. They think that you owe them something. So there is something to those that not accepting drinks.
Without those things, it pretty much just only hurts you.
You don't make guest appearance, Katie?
And that's some real bite your nose to spite your face kind of shit. So ultimately, I think anger is a kind of powerless feeling, and that's not what this moment should ideally be about. So put that anger where it belongs. Don't squelch it, but you can
put that
use
anger
that
in the ass without lube. You use lube, then what's the point? You want that anger in the ass, raw,
for good.
dry.
And there can be joy in rising up or working or volunteering your time or working towards change. There can be joy in the fight for.
I think we need a life plan for Sarah too. We're getting a life plan together for Donkey Lips. I believe he's going to live a very good life in Henderson, Nevada, where the Raiders currently are. You should follow your team, Donkey Lips. I think you should do something else, Sarah. We're going to get a life plan together for you and bring the joyful, cheerful, full of happiness and comedy. Is this a comedy show? I've legit, when I'm done this, I've got to go in and see what labels they put on this. This is Mel Brooks is there in the picture in the background. That kind of looks like The Godfather. Who's he? What's he? One of the most famous actors of all time. Is that who's hugging Mel Brooks there? I can't quite tell. There's a baby. Is that Ari Shaffir? I'm going to go ahead and guess that Ari Shaffir and Sarah Silverman aren't friends. If they were at one time, not anymore.
For equality. So I don't know. Good luck. Here's some ads. Athena Club, y'all. I love that Athena razor. It is so good. It gives me the silky.
What happened to your sound? Why aren't you using your professional microphone? Why are you just using your ear pod microphone for this? And hopefully I don't mess up on my live one of these days. On one of my attempted recordings for the Stuttering John Detractor show, Comedy Errors getting episode 2 out. So many things happening. And yeah, I got a great take, and it was picking up audio from here. It said it was picking up audio from the AirPods. Do the AirPods have a fucking microphone? But anyways, now I need to double, triple, quadruple check that the audio is coming through the microphone and not the AirPods. And I'm just now frightened all the time that you're hearing my AirPod audio instead of my microphone audio, as we are hearing from Sarah Silverman right here, pitching
Silkiest shave without any bumps.
Awful sound.
And I never have that. Athena Club's razor blade is surrounded by a water-activated serum with shea butter and hyaluronic acid, which is a whole
Sarah, you're an actor. She's just reading this. It's just being read by her with no emotion. You're an actor. Did you get nose work done? Those are some big old nostrils on you, lady. Really? This is your read? You're an actor. I've seen you do good work and Say It Isn't So, the most underrated of the Farrelly Brothers movies. Actually, I guess Kingpin is, because Kingpin is a better movie, and less people know about Kingpin, but nobody knows about Say It Isn't So. And Say It Isn't So is a fun movie, you sister fornicator.
Blades shipped to you for free. Show your skin you care with Athena Club razor.
I remember
kit.
you giving a blowy in the hot tub in that movie.
That and
fun.
Use code Silverman for 25% off your first order. Again, that's athenaclub.com and use code Silverman
still
for
have the
25% off. Why
promo code
you?
CUM.
Athena Club
Nick
also
got a good laugh
launched
out of
in
that.
Target stores
Promo
nationwide
code
this
CUM.
month. So make sure to check out the shaving aisle to buy the products in store.
Well, there was a little emotion there at the end.
That means in real life.
I think you should have got
Sundays
another take.
for dogs. Oh my gosh.
Oh, there's more.
Our new dog
I think you should
dogs.
drop these in one at a time. I'm done after that one.
Right, you guys. Space
And
doesn't sing the
I'm
special deal
interested
Sundays.
in dog products, but
food
after that first
YouTube,
one, no, I can't do a second one of those.
Gigantic fan.
Sarah, you've lost your
So
passion.
I've noticed from listening to your podcast that you
Maybe
have
you should make baskets.
such
What do you think about that? If
positive,
you started
loving,
crocheting,
caring,
how about
thoughtful
Stampin'
things
Up?
to say
What if
about
you started doing
maybe
a tour with the Stampin' Up conventions, with old ladies who make cards themselves and crafty young people who scrapbook? What if you were the comic touring with them, and you could be in the room? They have panels and stuff at conventions. And what if you toured with Stampin' Up and really got into Stampin' Up, Sarah? That's my life plan for you, Sarah. You're going to get in with the Stampin' Up people, and you're going to get into making your own personal cards, and you're going to get your passion back for something.
maybe
That's
exes
our
who have
life
wronged
plan
you
for
in the
Sarah
past,
Silverman.
people
She's
from
going to make
your
cards in her
past that
house.
you've had bad relationships with. And so I've experienced my share and then some of unhealthy relationships. And I'm wondering how you're able to get there, how you're able to get to a place where you can say such loving, patient, kind things about people from your past that have wronged you. I see that as a path toward reconciling bad experiences from your past. And I
Oh, well, work is hard. I
want to get there also. So
they're getting closer all the
any
time.
help
All
or
right.
words that you have about that would be amazing. Thank you so much.
I don't know that I'm thinking in terms of
Yes,
being
2 cameras.
wronged.
I would
I
need the
think
professional
most
StreamYard
of the
package to get a
relationships I've
second
been
camera
in
angle.
ended
Or
for
and 1080p
not
as
because
well.
I was
I don't think
wronged.
this
You
fucking
know,
Apple could handle
they just
1080p.
ended.
We're
You
probably
know,
sticking to
you don't,
720p,
and
folks.
I love these people. So the love changes, but I don't know that it's. Listen, I don't have great relationships with everyone ever dated, but probably like 95% of them.
It sounds like
I don't
you
know
were
that.
editing that. I think in your head, it's really 90 that you wanted to do because it's really more close to like 75 at best. And even then, come on, let's think about it. Like you're really talking about over half. There's I bet it's more like 60% and you're inflating it to 90% of exes that you have good relationships with. Does the public know how you and Jimmy Kimmel are doing nowadays? That's the one that is
I think in
readily
terms of being
apparent.
wrong, there have
Kevin
been
Brennan.
one or two.
How do you get along with how do you get along with Kevin Brennan? Does Kevin Brennan sell tickets with you, Sarah? Kevin Brennan was Sarah Silverman's first. Like, bravo, Kevin.
Where I would say I was wronged, but that's not something I particularly care to hold on to because it doesn't serve me. I'll tell you how to. I mean, I guess
the
my advice would be,
serve you,
what
Sarah.
was it? How do you
Chipperson over here. You hear that, Sarah? What doesn't serve you well, but the bartender will serve you well. Fuck yeah, Chipper.
Stay friends with someone who's wronged you or but how do you be friends with that? I would say by living your best life, by prioritizing your happiness in this one lifetime we have that we know of. When you take,
I want to go back to that wide angle.
In this
Hey
one,
there, I want to analyze this wall more. Your pictures are very random. I have a random assortment of pictures as well, but they are all black and white 8x10s, and they're in a checker pattern. Sometimes they aren't in a checker pattern when I pull them out, and I am very OCD about these. Everyone tells a story both across the line horizontally and up and down vertically. And man, there was one time where I got super autistic with it, and even the diagonals told a full story. This time I'm reaching. The diagonals on this setup of storytelling, I don't know how I did it the other time. Well, I had more wall space too. I did more wall space, not less. But the diagonals, I can say there's a story there and it makes sense. But I'm reaching. Verticals and horizontals. Solid storytelling on those pictures on my wall. Whereas let's see, we've got Jesus Christ there. Is that a still from Arrested Development? I can't quite tell what that is. Is that another Jesus Christ? There's a lot of Jesus on your wall. That guy kind of looks like Pee-wee's son with a Latino person. There's a baby. What is that child? Is that a classic photograph? Is that your family, Sarah? The black and white 8x10 on your wall with the child about to kiss the man on the mouth because you come from a very incestuous family that doesn't do age appropriate things. Is that what that one is? That's a 70s photo. Looks like a family photo. It's Steve-O with goggles. That's definitely not Steve-O, but that's the best I can. Yeah, it looks like a bunch of family photos over on this side. Not as bad as Donkey Lips. You don't have any Raiders memorabilia on your wall, so you're immediately better than Donkey Lips on what you're doing with your wall there, Sarah.
Lifetime
Those
we
nostrils.
have that we know of.
I need to go back and look
take
at Sarah
full
1999.
responsibility
Actually,
for your
come
happiness.
back here, Sarah 1999. What are those nostrils looking like? They are so big nowadays. Have they? Yep. I guess you didn't have a nose job. This camera angle is just not your camera angle. It looks like there has been no nose job. When we look at it, you're just at a really bad camera angle. You should do something about that. Do you have a producer? You should have a producer. Usually shows like this have like way too many people working on them. I have me working on this. My producer,
And when you make
help me out with the lighting in the background a little
choices
bit.
for
Get
yourself
some of that
that
hotness
favor
off of that
joy,
side.
your
The 8
joy,
by 10.
and most importantly, when you accept your whole self and treat yourself with love and care, you will find that you have an immense amount of space for others and empathy and acceptance for others. So you stop thinking in terms of people who have wronged you. Listen, there are
Wronged.
various degrees of that. So there are situations of being quote unquote wronged that are wildly palpable. And
Oh, good. You're giving out self-help advice. I know someone who needs a little help. Give a little self-help to Lily Tomlin, if you will.
Now get straight out and help. If you can't help them, help me.
All right, help Lily here.
and need to
Ooh,
be dealt
internet
with.
problems.
But in terms of relationship, I think if you're living your best life, you don't really think in terms of that. You see other people's faults and
All right,
quirks with a
internet
little more
issues
leeway,
out of the
a little
way.
more
We'll
kindness.
see how that looks
because
in post.
you give
I need
yourself
to start
that,
recording locally
that
as
leeway
well.
and kindness.
It didn't last
Ideally.
long, but it
And
was
most of all,
a
you
thing.
don't have to live a life with these people anymore. Also
Fucking
meaning
fiber.
you don't have to live a
Liars.
life with these people anymore.
Lies, you fibrous liars.
Or it's easier to love them
10 minutes to go.
when you
We'll see if
aren't,
Sarah forces us to
their
skip ahead.
partner.
Oh boy,
I think when you are
that
no
opening,
longer with these people,
that opening, I would just cut that entire first part out. I started having fun eventually. Actually, I think I got slap happy is when I started having fun. So maybe that setup of monotonous, tedious nonsense is proper to get to my slap happiness where I started having fun.
for me, it's a lot easier to love them just as they are. I have friends that I love to pieces that I would not be happy in a relationship with, a love relationship with, right? Sometimes
It's good to know you have such great relationships.
Oh, good for you.
That doesn't really help your caller, though.
you find that out
I kind of got
by
lost
being in a love
if the caller
relationship
actually
with
said
them,
anything or if it was all
and
Lily
realizing
Tomlin.
this sucks, but loving them as friends.
You're not answering Lily
And
Tomlin's
that's
questions.
the experience
she's
I've
getting
had a lot
upset.
of
Fuck
the
you,
time.
fuck you, fuck
Just
you.
like I've
Get the fucking thing together. Fuck you.
Oh,
I
that's the
have
second time I played
exes
that today,
who I
didn't
am
I?
able to
Fun
love
one.
to pieces as friends, but I would not want to go back to dating them,
Oh,
But just
talking
because
about
I
the great
have
relationships with
exes that are
boyfriends,
good
that's right.
friends or like have become siblings, brothers to me, doesn't mean that it's
So some
the
cool
only
type
healthy way to
stuff.
do it. It
So you
isn't
were
even
Sarah Michelle
always
Gellar.
healthy, maybe.
Sarah Michelle Gellar,
Some
definitely higher on the hottie scale than Sarah Silverman, always for me. That's a debate me and my cousin had. He was Jennifer Love Hewitt kind of guy, and Sarah Michelle Gellar all the way for me, which once again goes to show you if she's Jewish, she probably has an advantage with me because Jennifer Love Hewitt had them titties. Sarah Michelle Gellar did not.
sometimes a clean break works best for you, and that's okay. I'm not doing it better.
Need to get my hair off my
There's probably
librarian outfit.
an
More
unhealthy
proper.
element to it as
Wait
to
a
to-
minute.
to
Wait
my
a minute.
way as well.
She's not wearing her librarian outfit anymore. Sarah, when did you change your librarian outfit? Maybe deepy. Okay, it was after the commercials. You just ended after the commercials. I just noticed that we're no longer fellow librarians together. What the fuck, Sarah? I'm the only librarian left. You're in a nice, comfortable hoodie. I thought we had this librarian thing going.
Well, I don't know. But maybe zero contact ever again is the best for certain situations.
Most.
Only you can know. But there's some tools and hacks for
Okay.
you.
A big
Work better.
reason why you're still friends with a lot of your exes in Los Angeles is because they are little cucksters and they can't stand up for themselves. In Los Angeles, on like the masculine scale, I was something like a 7, 8, and I am way too fucking feminine to be a 7 or an 8 on the masculine scale anywhere. Like currently in somewhere, yeah, I'm sitting at a solid 5-ish, probably, maybe even a 4-ish. But Los Angeles, I was like a 7, 8 on the masculine scale, and that's just unacceptable. Those Los Angeles ex-boyfriends will let you walk all over them. I have some social medias I keep up with, and that's quite funny. Seeing that it's still going on.
I don't know. Good luck. What else?
Hey, Sarah, this is Jason from Brooklyn.
Oh,
this
wait,
just happened
we've
to
got
me, okay?
two different Sarahs. We've got Librarian Sarah, and we've got Hoodie Sarah. Did Hoodie Sarah make an appearance before then? What is the point of Hoodie Sarah? Hoodie Sarah, get the fuck out of here. We're trying to rent out books to the children.
I staying at a friend's apartment, and I had to go number 2, and so I
Poop story.
went to the bathroom,
Here we go.
and I put on your podcast, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I did, because it was the last episode of 2022.
Your last episode was as much excrement as my excrement. Thank you so much, Sarah.
And as I was finishing my business, the episode was ending, and it was the final voice message, and someone wanted to know what question you would ask a person to get to know them better. But right before you shared that, I noticed that my friend has this attached bidet. And so I was so excited because I've never used one before. So there's this knob you turn, and it controls the water pressure and the water temperature.
Excited for a bidet? It's cool when you see them. All right. Excited? Maybe it's a little far. Excited. Oh, cool. All right. Water my asshole, toilet. I'll take it. Excited.
Turn it, and it was squirting the most perfect amount of water at the perfect temperature. And I was amazed at how direct it was to the asshole. And as this was happening,
so who licks your asshole better, your wife or your toilet?
And it was, how do you clean your asshole? And I'm like, I'm cleaning my asshole as you're asking the question. What is happening right now? And I just couldn't believe the timing of that. So here I am leaving this voice message. It's called the Veckin, by the way. And
is this Stan? So here I am calling you.
I recommend
this
it.
This is the message I'm sending you.
All right. Well,
I hope you
what do you know?
I ripped all your pictures off the wall.
They call that Kismet or Beshert. It was Beshert. No, I don't know. Well, it's a coincidence, but one of the great
All right, bell-shaped curve. We were having fun.
Thanks for calling
for a little bit after misery. We might be on the other end where misery begins again. Oh, how appropriate.
Hey, Sarah. I'm almost 30, and I just got diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder.
We're all
I am
autistic
happy
now.
that I got diagnosed.
Expanded as it is.
Because my whole life I've kind of just been treated as weird or quirky.
Weird. I always thought it was weird.
That I had
I find it fun.
Were ignored or they didn't know about them back when I was a kid. But I find myself having a bit of a crisis of identity because even though I have always thought I have been accepting, non-judgmental, open-minded, I apparently hold a lot of bias.
Okay, these callers, I think the producer should chop them up. This call could get to the point and be less of the time. Certainly you have a producer, Sarah. They should be previewing these calls, and they could get them a little less wordy and get
for
to the
autism
point.
that I didn't even know about. And now that it's placed on myself, even though nothing has technically changed,
right,
I find myself struggling with it. And I don't even know whether I should tell people or if they might have those same biases and treat me.
Still going, huh? I would have put a timer on you if I would have known it was going like this. Let's go ahead. Times 1.75 and go.
Differently. Anyway, I was just wondering what you would do in my situation. I love your show. Thank you.
Yeah, why? Perspective is everything, isn't it? I mean, You're the same person you were
Literally.
before you do this. I don't know. I think you feel it out. You just,
Gonna get drunk together, Sarah?
Look, the autism spectrum is so
I'm so
vast.
glad you joined me for a drink,
I
Sarah.
have
You're just
misophonia,
loosening
and
up
that's
so much
categorized
more. And it's that
on
charming
the
Sarah.
autism
It's coming out
spectrum.
now that you're having a few
On
beers.
one hand,
You know, you don't
owe
need to
it
be drunk
to
all the time. You
absolutely
just need to bring the fun
no
of Sarah
one
out
to inform
sometimes.
people
And you can do
of
that
this, but
sober.
you may find that
You don't
you
need to
are,
be drunk to bring out the
or
fun.
you
Sarah,
may
she's always
become
existed, man.
completely comfortable with it. Maybe some people will look at you different. I would guess mostly your friends will be unchanged in how they view you. Look, I'm a comedian. A huge percentage
Bullshit.
of
You almost made
my
me do a
community is
spit
on
take
the. Can
there.
you say, Raj, that a
Fuck, I almost messed up all my equipment.
massive
Shenanigans.
percentage of comedians.
Bullshit. Do I have a bullshit drop? I need something. You are not a comedian.
You're a freak with a microphone.
No! No! Don't shut me up! You are trashing my scene!
You are a retired comedian. I call bullshit. I call shenanigans. 2023 Sarah Silverman is not a comedian. Bullshit.
Comedians are on the spectrum. Maybe more than half.
Okay, former
Maybe a lot
comedian
more than
on the
half.
spectrum. I'll believe
some
that.
people are like, there were never trans people before. Like, it's a new thing, There were never non-binary people before. Yes, there were. We didn't have awareness of it. We
I wonder if
didn't,
you're picking that
people
up.
thought something
That'll
was
be a test.
wrong.
Hopefully, you're not picking up that audio happening over there. I still haven't gotten some sound foam.
with
Okay. I
them,
really enjoyed Sarah when she was drunk. You might have
selves.
to
There wasn't a
get
name. There
Sarah
wasn't
drunk then.
awareness. There weren't
Because drunk Sarah is
avenues
charming.
towards
It reminds me of
living
Sarah.
that
And you can bring
life
Sarah out at any
out
time.
loud.
Great
It
thing.
was
This charming girl
massively
who's funny,
stigmatized,
who isn't just overcome
and
the world.
people aren't
Was a very fun
suddenly
girl. That girl knew
autistic
too.
or on the autism spectrum. It's just always been this way. We're just
There's always
becoming more
burden since the
aware
world's
of
been
it.
turning. We have
So,
been
your
autistic.
business is your business, but
The first kid man
talking
who
about it,
painted on walls, he was so
aka
autistic.
normalizing it, is only going to help others know that there does not have to be a stigma attached to this. It just is. And knowing about it, like you said, is so helpful. And that's great. Okay. Good luck. What else?
Hey, Sarah. My name is Mike. I'm an artist and educator and not really into gender roles, gender norms sorts of things. And
so Los Angeles. Are all these calls from Los Angeles? This show is so Los Angeles.
For the past...
I missed out on a good Command Shift 3. That one's not bad. Not as good as the other one. Okay. I didn't think we were going to have an episode 2 with Sarah Silverman, but eventually... I think it's because I got slap
5
happy.
years I've been a stay-at-home dad,
started being
taking care of 2 toddler children. I've got a master's degree. I've been making art and doing all that sort of thing. Just kind of left it behind to take care of the family and all of the things, while my wife, who's a physician,
this out to social
does
media.
her thing. But
I was starting to be so good with that of Twitter, and only they're blowing up Twitter. I'm finally promoting myself on there before it's too fucking late. God damn it.
Lately, I've been left with basically nothing, which kind of is creating a hardship for me. I'm trying to use my skills to survive, and it's very difficult.
Your
I mean,
right?
if I was another gender, if I was another, I don't know, if
all these
if things were a little bit different, I think I would have a better opportunity to survive. But being a white guy, I feel, I don't know, unfortunately, I feel really bad about my position, and I know I shouldn't, because
more patriarchy nonsense. More nondescript patriarchy nonsense. As I mentioned, if we were talking about the disparity in pay or not being promoted, because of the patriarchy, but we have not talked about that, Sarah. I'm trying to talk about that. I would like to get to real issues of the patriarchy if we are going to talk about it, and not like just this giant specter that we all must hate. We talk about go.
White privilege is a thing. But anyway, I'm wondering what advice you have for me to go forward and to do better, to keep motivated, to keep moving with my creative endeavors and doing more than just surviving. But anyway.
I am so overcome with guilt of being white and male that I cannot be a productive human. Sarah, help me. You've come to the right place, sir.
Anyway, thanks for your advice.
My friend, you are experiencing what life has been like for everyone else besides straight white men up until now. Is that your cross to bear? No, but also yes. It turns out the good news is life is still far easier for straight white men than for others, just less so now. And maybe you feel it because you're in the art world. You're in a more progressive world, I guess. I don't know. What I always say is that what you can do is what everyone else has had to do up until now, which is be undeniable. Just be great. Be that good. You make art. Your wife supports the family financially. Having financial support as an artist is massive.
Yeah, I will go out there. Just ask Joe Matarese how helpful it is to have a successful wife in her field, so you can go out and do nonsense like this. I have to work at a shitty, miserable job for a year at a time to get a few months of doing this silly nonsense. And that clock is expiring if we don't get to monetization soon. So that sounds like a great time for the shill segment. I still didn't get one specifically for this show, even though it's very easy. You can find Dillon from somewhere on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, Discord, wherever there is a platform I'm on. It is Dillon from somewhere. Go support me on that. Like, subscribe, comment, chat, and more people will find it. And then I will get paid for this, and I don't have to go back to a miserable job. But I am having a pretty great time here right now. I would be just absolutely not thrilled, but I could be in a good place as a carnival barker over at Costco, because seeing some of the old people they have slinging food over at Costco, and they are just not at all salesmen. They are not like me. If I go in there into Costco and give out samples and do it in a way where I talk about the delicious ingredients of onions and many other vegetables with the meat products, that will be on purpose. Other days, when I am in full carnival barker mode, yes, I will be slinging these as if I was selling a show out in front of vaudeville folks. Maybe it'll be the radio voice guy, and maybe it'll be Casey Kasem selling you some chicken tenders today at the Costco. What were you talking about, Sarah?
Massive help. You're raising 2 toddlers, so that's your day job. You're a house husband. But that's
yes,
a real job.
I would love to find a successful woman.
Plan dedicated time to your art. Maybe you open an Etsy page.
We really don't become financially stable here at this channel until phase 2. Phase 1, hopefully it goes on a few weeks or a few months instead of a year. We are looking. Yes, Command Shift 3. I almost missed that. That is nice. That is episode 2 right there. And as long as I get through the slog at the beginning, we will have a good time together, Sarah. I am
art
your
on Etsy.
co-host.
I love
Dillon. You
getting
are
art on
the
Etsy.
host, and
But if
we
you
are
make art
making
that
some
moves
fun
you,
entertainment together.
You win. If you
well,
make
one
art
of
that
us is
appeals to
anyways.
others, double win. Nobody can keep you from being an artist, but you. I hope this is inspiring.
Yeah, was that Bill Burr who said the great thing about stand-up is that no one can ever fire you?
Depressing, but good luck. Express yourself.
But Sarah did call herself a stand-up earlier in the show, and on behalf of the audience, you're fired.
However you see fit. Dad, it's that time of the show where I say we are winding down. Don't want to be too abrupt for you, Dad. This is when I say subscribe, rate, and review wherever you listen to podcasts, and check us out on YouTube if you like watching with your
what a great team we are.
beautiful peepers.
You just did it right after I did it. We're on the same wavelength, Sarah. There's a lot of interference getting to that wavelength with you, Sarah. This was this. This was a difficult one, and I am going to turn that off in case someone has that copy written. Sarah, I want you to take a look at Birdie here. Birdie is a very positive person, and I think you could learn a thing or two from the positivity that Birdie just exudes naturally, as you used to, Sarah. You were once...
You seem sad.
Lady.
I might have some things that'll cheer you up. How about this 6-foot-tall paintbrush? Does this maybe crack a smile? I feel like my Garfield Switch plate cover might make you smile. See, because I mean, ooh, I know. I heard a rumor that you can't be sad after seeing a giant Snickers bar. Look at the nougat and the caramel. Instant smiles.
It was from the bookstore, a raffle. My brother just put my name in the raffle as a joke, and Dillon won this giant Garfield that was bigger than him, wore a t-shirt that said, "I am the party."
It smiles. Would it make you smile just a little bit to know that a giant Oreo table exists? Because it makes me smile. Look at these babies. I guess it's time to put my shoes on. Oh, I can't because it's ceramic.
Oh.
Giant golf ball? No, silly. It's an ice box. It's actually extremely illegal to be sad when my food stairs exist. Yeah, so you have to stop being sad right now because they do exist.
Food stairs, Sarah Silverman. Food stairs. You need food stairs in your house, Sarah Silverman. And then that jolly, young, charming lady filled with funny, insightful views will be back.
I don't make the rules, sorry. On that note, if this doesn't make you smile, I don't know what will.
I'm
Giant box.
going to push Henderson, Nevada as a great place for people who need a break from Hollywood. Get out to Vegas adjacent in Henderson, Nevada. I'm going to have to make up some propaganda for the Henderson
of animal
Forest
crackers,
Bureau.
right?
Henderson,
Wrong,
Nevada.
because it's actually full of animal cracker pillows. They are pillows. They're pillows. This hot dog.
God dang hot dog. Hot dog.
Also a pillow.
I love that song.
Do you not
too.
also have a giant eggplant beanbag that takes up the entire room? Yikes. Is the kitchen where you want to be happy? How about this corn timer? Or this vase that looks like orange juice? And my current favorite,
Sarah,
this
listen to
giant
that song.
Starbucks coffee.
We're here to
trash
cheer up
can.
Sarah Silverman. We're going to
Look,
get her on
buddy,
a
I
great
smiled
mood
a bunch
next
of times.
episode.
It's hard to believe that you didn't once. Okay, love you, bye.
All right, learn a thing or two from Birdie. I think she might remind you of your former self, Sarah. How about this? I think let's get some comedy. Let's get some up and coming female stand-up comics. Sarah, you can help them along their way. They're throwing some hot.
Next time you're hungry, instead of saying, "I'm so hungry I could eat a horse," do a joke on your friends and say, "I'm so hungry I could ride a horse."
Thank you very much, Clara Kiwi. Thank you very much, Clara Kiwi. I think you would make a great... would you be the opener or the middler? Because we do have 2 acts to pitch to Sarah Silverman from the world of TikTok on her Girl Power Tour. Let's get to... I need to read their names. It doesn't come up here. Wise words from Nev. This is not Nev Campbell, and Nev Campbell did not make it into the top hotties of the 90s for me. All the top 2. She could be number 3. She could duke it out for number 3, whereas Sarah Michelle Gellar and Jennifer Love Hewitt, top hotties of the 90s, number 1 and 2. I will debate you on that. Any other answer is wrong.
Don't be ashamed of who you are. That's your parents' job.
We have a theme going here with our lady comedians opening up. We do have a performance artist, and someone is paying her some compliments here.
Thank you for pointing out an insecurity of mine, but complimenting it at the same time. I'm confused.
So those are the ones I'm pitching for your tour. I do not believe that Birdie is a performer. Maybe she is. Maybe she could just come and bring her props. She doesn't even need a joke. Her props just bring a smile to the room, as Sarah Silverman used to before she became a joy black hole. And one more for today. We could have this game at the Sarah Silverman tour. what did I say she was touring with? Stampin' Up, the Sarah Silverman Stampin' Up tour, bringing along Nev, bringing along Clara. And how about we have this for door prizes for the audience? I think this is a good game. The people at Stampin' Up would really enjoy you bringing, Sarah.
2, 1.
She won that round. Okay, thank you for joining us. Boy, that makes my librarian hair less librarian-y and more fucked up. I believe I'm making an appearance on another podcast, and I'm doing Sarah Silverman and Opie tomorrow. Opie co-host audition number 2 tomorrow. If I do make that appearance, the audience is familiar with both of those, and looking to grab some of you and keep you around as I look for my host. I am the co-host here. Hopefully Sundays will be our regular day for Stuttering John's Shuley Detractor Show. I had to pump out 2 really quick with all the developments. I thought it was going to be my Thursday show, Monday through Wednesday, co-host auditions through the summer. Thursdays are wild card. I don't know what we're going to do. We're throwing out some pilots. I have a few suggestions for some other dabblers to come on and do some Thursday show shenanigans. And Mr. Winston, as we see in the background, it won't be until the fall. I need 100% need a producer. I need someone to run the board for Mr. Winston's Lost Reviews coming this fall on the Dillon from Somewhere channel. Thank you for coming. Now go away and check out my other videos.